I don't even know what day it is. It's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's Wednesday.
Rubbish day.
And Danny and I are going somewhere else today instead of our usual. It's up close and personal. Instead of the usual kebab and coffee, we're going to go somewhere else and probably still get a kebab and a bread roll, won't we? Yeah, we should. I'm playing traffic a little bit. Oh, we can't get KFC.
Because we're going the wrong way.
Yeah, we don't have we're not. Neither of us have got the flu, so.
We don't want to catch it.
Yeah. Well, neither of us have got the flu, so we don't know who's shouting. It's hard not to notice the number of YouTubers who are having a bit of a play with the live streaming stuff at the moment, which is quite interesting. It lets you put something up online instantly and takes away a lot of the post-production and edit work and things like that. And because it's live streaming, the audience's expectation is that all of those little errors and mistakes and stuff that you have are okay to be there. There's not this expectation that it's going to be tidied up and edited and the voice corrected and all that sort of thing, which makes it quite appealing to some of the YouTubers. It's definitely a rougher video that you're experiencing online as a viewer. You're not getting a nice, clean, polished, edited piece of film with time lapses and slow motions and fancy titles and background music and all that sort of thing. That's not going to be there. What it is it's a lot rougher, it's rawer, it's very plain, but in a way it's a lot more honest as well. It's people owning up to their mistakes and accepting them when they're speaking, and also having to be a lot more considerate and thoughtful about what it is they're saying at the time. So, I thought I might give that a go as well. You'll probably, if you have a look at my channel, you'll see that there's a couple of quick tests I did earlier today, about a minute long each, while heading out to lunch with Danny. And I just sort of went and shot those, and just to have a look at the mechanism of it and to see how the application itself worked, rather than worrying about the content so much. So just ignore the drivelling ramble that is part of those. Not that it's a hell of a lot worse than this. So yeah, I think I might go have a bit of a think and a bit of a play with that one. It's I do quite like the idea of being able to put stuff up online that's sort of more responsive, potentially interactive, though if I'm going to be doing that, it's going to be on my phone and not exactly have a webcam and a keyboard with me in a chat session on another machine. Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. The other one I've noticed is people using Google Hangouts and streaming that to YouTube and keeping it recorded. Now that's quite fascinating. It allows a multi-way conversation to go on, and the Hangouts are pretty good at picking who's speaking dominantly and that sort of thing, and switching camera views. So that auto switching involved in that sort of thing is something that interests me from a software development point of view, if nothing else. Yeah, there's some really interesting, fascinating things coming along that all have different degrees of potential of changing the whole YouTube landscape and what people's expectations are of what they're going to be viewing, and also the different modes of being able to view that. I mean, we're going to get to a point very quickly where I think people are going to start putting more produced live shows on YouTube. I can imagine half a dozen people getting together and putting together some sort of live broadcast TV type show on YouTube, but without the usual TV live schedule that you might have necessarily, where you've got on TV you'll have a whole pile of programs that are coordinated and can work together. On YouTube you can broadcast a live TV show in a studio and do all that sort of thing. So you have the opportunity of having it live and interactive. If somebody's watching it live, they can send questions in and do all that sort of thing and make comments and actually interact with their TV show. Or you can watch it recorded later on. So you lose that immediacy of interaction, but obviously you can watch it when you want. It's going to be quite fascinating what becomes more dominant and how this sort of thing gets used. I'm interested to see whether we start seeing some of these quarter-hour, half-hour, hour-long organised shows on YouTube got a potential to completely change the face of YouTube. And while people are just toying with it at the moment, it's going to be quite fascinating to see where it goes. Who's going to do it first? Well, hell, I might have a whack at it. It's kind of... I'm just sort of thinking about this as I'm talking about it, and I've got a whole stream of ideas coming through my head at the time, while I'm talking about it, and I'm just wondering what you could do in the real world right now without having a big budget. One of the first things that springs to mind is Wayne's World. If you've watched the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, where it's just a public broadcasting system. The PBS network in the States is actually a perfect example of what YouTube is, I think, heading towards being, as a replacement for that PBS platform, but being able to do it in an asynchronous manner. So what I mean by that is, if you're creating a show for YouTube, you could be running a music show, take requests real time, have conversations about the music with people online. You could use Hangouts, you could use all sorts of, you can use the YouTube comments and commentaries and stuff. I can also see skit shows. I can see chat shows and current events media and stuff like that taking on this platform, sitting down with a desk and a nice background and everything, talking about what's in the news today, and having real-time conversations with the viewers at the same time. I don't know how much of it's feasible. I don't know how people whether it would be financially feasible, and I guess that's a big part of any of this media going on. A huge part of all this is picking up what sort of shows you could produce cost effectively, and then over time nobody's going to be wanting to do all of this for free all the time, of course, so we're going to need to start picking bits and pieces that are worth doing and financially viable over time. If you're going to be pulling something like this off every day, you want to be making a living from it, of course. So it's an interesting thing. and certainly something I want to look into a lot more.